All right, what am I on here for? Looking all chapped and dry, straight off the gym. Well, I feel lately like God is telling me to date casually. So, ladies, this is what you got to work with right here. Very, very rough around the edges. Yeah. No, with my wife, some revelations have come to light. And I'll just keep it simple. I'll just say, even if God revealed all of this tomorrow as to who I am and who I'm about to be, I'm not just running back to you. And if you ran this direction, I still wouldn't meet you halfway. And maybe I would, but God is going to have to be the one that gives the okay on this whole thing as to us getting back together. Because right now, with what you're doing, well, classless, demonic, straight up. Now, I won't go into details onto any of that, but it's like, who are you? Who are you? This is like childish behavior as to what you're doing and posting. And I won't go into details because he's telling me not to, but it's like, baby, what the hell are you thinking? We're not even talking right now, but just to be so overt, like I can't even imagine what your family's thinking, let alone his family, and doing what you guys are doing. And the more I talk about it, the more I dwell on it, the more I'm going to go into details on what is being made public and all of that. But it's like, who are you? So I'm going to leave you with God, as I have, even after all of this is revealed. And this is speaking specifically about Honolulu Mayor, that whole deal. Yep, still waiting on that, still waiting. The end of the month, that's what I'm believing for, because the prophetic words and just, this is Ezekiel, prophecies are for a far off time. The proverb is that they prophesy and nothing ever happens. Well, that is ending. Put that to bed. Anyway, don't remember the chapter and all that, but it's like, this is a now word, if you will, and all the prophetic words are a now word, and it's been months of now words. So it's like, God, it feels like you're leading me on, but you're just leading me. So it's the steps of a righteous man are ordered. It's just what it is. So it's this drawn out, feels strung out. I feel like I'm being lied to, but I'm not. It's just patience of whatever it is that he's working on in the shadows. He will bring to light. And when it all comes to light, I'm not going to be there waiting for my wife. Down on my knees. That's going to be something that we both have to want. And right now, God wants it. But it's like, he's like, I could bless you either way, but I want you to want her, not to just go back simply because I want that. Because it's been like a week and a half of, is she enough for you? And it's like, God, stop asking me that question, because I'm going to change my mind. You knew what you were doing when you gave us that dog. And everything that as to what she was, I have nothing but good and fond memories of. But this it doesn't cancel out, but it's like, I don't recognize anything as to who she was versus who she's trying to be and what and all. And it's like, just the I don't know, I don't recognize anything as to my wife. It breaks my heart, and I pity him and her. I do. I pray for both of them, but I'm just gonna pray from a distance, as I have been. Haven't been trying to follow. Haven't been trying to track. I got contacted by the ex-wife, and she's the one sharing photos with me. It's like, you know what? It would be easier if you just didn't even show me any of that. Like, I'm not trying to think about that. I'm not trying to dwell on that. Like, that's what you left me for. That right there, I would feel better if you cheated on me with Danny DeVito than that 43-year-old man. So anyway, the more I talk about it, the more upset I get. So I'm not going to, but not making sense, babe. And the action that you're participating in is just straight up demonic. It is, posting what you're posting. So I'm not going to go into detail, but in the meantime, I'm going to date casually. That's what he's telling me. Just to have interaction, just to heal from all of that, just to be desired again, when your wife ghosts you for a year and a half without reason, and then all of this other stuff that I won't go into. It's like, I want you to want her, Micah, not just because I said that I want you two together for the testimony. Not only that, is she enough for you? And it's like, God, stop asking me. I'm going to change my mind. I want what you want, and help me to want what you want more, because I don't feel anything from my wife. I feel disgust from my wife right now. And it says love endures, but God, take that, change it. You've changed me. I've participated in different things at a younger age to a lesser degree, but that's not what it's about. It's not about that. I've had my own whorish behavior at different times. And this, help me with it. Help me with it. But I'm waiting on timing. I fleeced it. It's a good one. It's not going to be by chance. But that's God's timing. And it's just this season of waiting on that. But in the meantime, he's like, get a list of people you'd like to have lunch with. So I was like, all right, cool. Well, aim high, that kind of stuff. It's like, all right, Jennifer Aniston, that was my wife's favorite actor, or is. It's like, you seem like a lot of fun. We're not gonna date, but if you'd be cool with sitting down and having lunch. Like, I've seen all the seasons of Friends, and I know that probably irritates you to hear, but it'd be fun to sit down and talk. So I'm shooting my shot. But anyway, that kind of stuff is like, you don't know what God can do and how far this goes, but it's global. All of it is global. And I'm being vague and ambiguous and mysterious, and yeah, that'll be something that surrounds me for sure. But when he says that you're going to be Honolulu mayor, future president, richest man in the world, second to Solomon, all this stuff is just like, okay, either I believe God or I don't. But I feel very unqualified, very unworthy. But it's like, wisest man ever, second to Solomon. Nobody in my family would wait for a week, let alone a year and a half on a promise like this. I don't think. He's told me as much. They would have gotten together, rationalized it, talked themselves out of it. That's basically what he said. My family would. Very devout, if you will, very proper, but consider their opinions way too much. Love them to death. But if it was one of the other boys, one of the brothers, they all would have got together and talked about it. They all would have conferred, and yeah, that's basically what he said. But it's not about that. So wisest ever, basically, it's my ignorance and obedience. That's what makes the wisdom, not the knowledge that comes later down the road. So wisest at what point? Was it overall? Is it over everyone in the world? The consolidation of everybody in history? Is it an average of everything, or is it at the end of my life? Is it day to day? How does this work? Nobody knows. It's understanding. It's not necessarily knowledge. It's not even necessarily how to. Doesn't mean I become a nuclear physicist. That's not what wisdom is. It's not. So I mean, you can be one, but if you think that everything in this life came from an explosion, you're spiritually retarded. If you think that all of this came to be from an explosion, so you could be Michael Eric Dyson, and he might be the PMSNBC. I'm forgetting which guy. Stephen Hawking. I don't care, either one. I think that guy, Michael Eric Dyson's the guy on is Black Liberation Theology, these kind of things. PMSN or MSNBC. I don't remember the other guy's name. It's not important. But I mean, you can be one of the brightest scientists in the world, but if you think that all of this came from an explosion, you're spiritually retarded, or just retarded in that way. It's arrogant and at the same time ignorant, but highly educated, supposedly. So I mean, that's one of the things. Man looks at the degrees, if you will, but I don't see how you can look at the beauty of everything around this world. The beauty in people, or the lack of, the good and the evil, the divine and the demonic. So